I met Asa at my last job. I was working a retail gig.
We hit it off, found we had a mutual love for games.
Not just video games, but arcade culture, arcade equipment.
Daniel already had several machines at home.
I'd been into arcade collecting for a year or two at that time, and he was just dabbling.
And I need to have a pinball at home. I need 2 pinballs at home. I need 3, that's a good variety.
Starting an arcade was something I've wanted to do for a long time.
Every time one of us bought a new machine, we would always kind of jokingly say, oh, this will look great in the arcade.
It got to the point where we had a certain amount of equipment and a certain amount of dissatisfaction with our current job. And so it's like when they reached a certain equilibrium, we were just like, let's just go for this.
It just sort of seemed natural to recreate, what we loved, the arcades from our childhoods. I feel that's kind of a niche that most game stores don't explore. I think it started as a joke. I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, and I was like, what about the Lost Ark video games?
Discovering some hidden treasure,
Something you've never seen before.
Something rare and unique.
Something from when you were a kid that you've lost for 20 years.
And I was like, well, maybe the store can kind of be like, the Lost Ark for gamers.
The ultimate goal would be to foster an appreciation for these games. I play things that come out now, 3DS, 360, Wii, all that. But where my heart really lies is in the older things. Things from even before I was born, Donkey Kong, Centipede, Ms. Pac-Man. Super Mario Brothers. My favorite series, personally.
My biggest goal is to pay my mortgage for next month. But right behind that is recreating that thing I wanted to experience again, and I think other people want to experience again, which is that, that arcade scene, that arcade culture from, the 80s and 90s.
Up until now, the only arcade in Greensboro was a pretty shoddy arcade in the mall. Things I like most about this place, Dan and Asa have a really great taste in games. They put out some really great games that I love playing, like Street Fighter, some puzzle games, things like that. And then also the location, right between where I go to school and where I go to work. So I can just pop in, an hour every day during my commute and get in some practice.
Pinball is just kind of battling the machine, trying to keep that ball alive and rack up points and score as many as you can. Pinball's always something that's been kind of dear to my heart. My dad loves to play, so haven't had a chance to bring him here yet, but I definitely will. Things, kind of in your childhood, just such a joy, and so why would you want to remove yourself away from, those things?
Great date night, and I don't know, it's a great Friday night activity. It's cheap.
Somewhere in there, throughout the day we try and have a little fun. That's right. If somebody's in the store and they're playing Street Fighter all by themselves, we sort of have a moral obligation to play Street Fighter with them, at least a little bit.
Next to the person at an arcade machine, and you get to look over at them, and it's like, I just beat you. I don't want to get yelled at by some kid on the internet.
One lesson I could pass on is if you
If you go to start an arcade and you're thinking about buying a chain machine, just go ahead, spend that extra grand, get one that doesn't break 3 times a day.
There was something about going to the arcade, the journey, the fact that you had to actually travel there and then, you know, see things that you may have never seen before. You never knew quite what the experience would be, what new machine might be there, who you might meet, and who you might end up playing with.
Inevitably, you're going to strike up a conversation. Oh, I do this. You know, I hit this shot and then this shot.
There's something very real that is lost when you just play games by yourself at home on the couch. The arcade experience, without sounding too maudlin, is magical.